Now on Nightside, I am tracking thunderstorms moving through the region right now. I'll let you know if they're going to rumble through your neighborhood overnight in the first alert forecast.
People around the inland Northwest in mourning following Charlie Kirk's death. A look at the candlelight vigil held to honor his life in Coeur d'Alene. And today marks the 24th anniversary of 9/11. The stair climbing held in Cheney to honor the lives lost. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Well, good evening and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Derek Dice. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed yesterday while attending an event at Utah Valley University. Kirk was 31 years old and a father of 2. Around the nation, politicians from both sides of the aisle took to social media to share their condolences. And in Coeur d'Alene, a candlelight vigil was held tonight honoring his life at McEwen Park. Our Mary Sheridan was there.
Hundreds of people are gathering together in McEwen Park tonight to remember political activist Charlie Kirk. This candlelight vigil was organized in just a little more than 24 hours.
I've never put on a candlelight vigil before. I pray that I never have to again, because of course the circumstances are tragic, but the amount of support from the community has been phenomenal.
Patrick Wolf is the youth committeeman for the Kootenai County Republican Central Committee. He organized this vigil for Kirk shortly after he heard the news of his death.
The moment you hear something like this, a tragedy, the first thing you start doing is praying.
He had a family and obviously had a huge impact, but it's just like more scary than anything else that it happened on a college campus.
My heart dropped. Yeah. I was like, this isn't real. But...
The vigil started as the sun began to set. People prayed, cheered, and sang together. Many people said they were still processing Kirk's death.
I really felt like this was a person who was out looking to speak to people who probably hated him without ever knowing him, or at least disliked him or disagreed with him. And that man had a lot of courage being able to step out in front of people and even have that dialogue.
We see here is a community coming together to grieve together, to pray together, and to unite together. And that's kind of the main thing that we want to look at together, say, look, as a nation, how do we come together? How do we take these tragedies and not let it define us?
Reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Mary Sheridan, 4 News Now.
As students across the nation are grappling with the sudden loss of Charlie Kirk, who created the movement known as Turning Point USA. Chapters of Turning Point can be found at hundreds of high schools and universities. Kirk created the nonprofit 13 years ago. According to the organization, it's since exploded to more than 250,000 student members. Its ideology closely resonated with many right-leaning students.
They looked up to him for being bold and daring to share his idea, and a man who decided to speak out. And I think that was a special thing, and many people that was personal to them.
Shay Thompson is the president of Gonzaga's Turning Point USA chapter. He met Kirk just a few weeks ago at an event in Florida. Thompson says while he didn't agree with all Kirk had to say, the fact he was willing to share his ideas is what made him so honorable. In a social media post, Turning Point USA said although Kirk is gone, his legacy will endure. And the manhunt for the person responsible in Kirk's death is ongoing. The FBI released these photos showing a person of interest, and they believe they have the murder weapon. For the latest on the investigation, here's ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
New developments in the manhunt for the person suspected of gunning down 31-year-old Charlie Kirk. The FBI releasing these photos, asking for the public's help in identifying the person of interest. The FBI analyzing a bolt-action rifle. Officials in Utah say they discovered in the woods, believed to be used in connection with the shooting. They're looking for any possible DNA or fingerprints. Multiple law enforcement sources telling ABC News it was wrapped in a towel, with a spent cartridge still chambered and 3 unspent containing what law enforcement officials describe as transgender and anti-fascist writings. Law enforcement has not explained what that means or whether those markings were meant to misdirect investigators. Authorities combing through video from the scene, including this one, which appears to show a person on the roof, according to sources familiar with the ongoing investigation.
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
Kirk was shot and killed during an event at Utah Valley University Wednesday.
I was 15 feet away, and it was really hard to witness. As the guy said shooting or shooters or something like that, you just hear the gunshot and I'm sorry.
Kirk found on to the conservative youth organization Turning Point USA, a memorial growing outside their Phoenix headquarters. There was controversy over many of his viewpoints and comments, including about the LGBTQ+ community, single women, and Jewish people. President Trump today saying he will be awarding Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on.
A source confirming to ABC News that Vice President J.D. Vance will be meeting with Kirk's family here in Utah before taking his casket on board Air Force Two back home to Phoenix. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Orem, Utah.
All right, we're going to send things over to Chris Crocker now, who's tracking some thunderstorms. Are they still rumbling around the region?
Yes, we've got a strong storm, in fact, down around Lewiston right now. We zoom in around the LC Valley, watching this thunderstorm moving to the southwest. It's wrapping around an area of low pressure, moving at about 20 miles per hour, putting down some potentially large hail, plenty of lightning for our friends in Lewiston and Clarkston Heights. And you could see the positive strikes, those blue strikes, those are the more potent strikes. Negative strikes less so, but there's only one of those, and also some heavy rain coming down. And again, this is moving to the southwest, so away from the Lewiston area. Further to the north, we've also had some thunderstorm activity up around St. Mary's and near Potlatch, but that is beginning to weaken a little bit. It is moving also, rotating to the southwest, and everything is staying just a little bit south of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene right now, and will continue to do so. Our forecast radar shows those showers and thunderstorms just rotating right out of the region, other than in the central panhandle. And by tomorrow morning, we're looking at mostly sunny skies over most of the region. It actually should be a beautiful Friday, other than that haze on the horizon. 57 degrees in the morning, heading up to a high of 82. Air quality in the good to moderate range in Spokane. Obviously, around active fires, air quality is still a concern. There's another chance of rain showing up in the forecast. I'll let you know when to expect it in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. A school shooting at a high school in Colorado yesterday left 2 students in critical condition. The suspect, identified today as 16-year-old student Desmond Hawley, shot himself and later died. Authorities in Colorado say Hawley had been radicalized by an extremist network.
Was radicalized through an extremist network, and clearly we take that very seriously. There's obviously a lot of work that has to go into looking at his phone, looking at his social media pages, searching his room, searching his backpack. There's just searching his locker. There's a lot of places to look that we hope will just give us better information as to what he was attempting to do, and maybe the why. Sometimes we never find out why.
Jackie Kelly, who you just heard from, works for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and says the 16-year-old used a revolver and fired and reloaded several times. She also said authorities are looking into whether Hawley's parents will face any criminal charges. Now, following violent events like Charlie Kirk's death, along with the killing of Minnesota state lawmaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, and the 2 assassination attempts on President Donald Trump, officials and law enforcement say we're living in the most dangerous threat environment since the terrorist attacks in 2001. In Congress last night, tensions reached a boiling point between Republicans and Democrats. One Republican representative yelled, "Y'all caused this," to which Democrats shouted in response, "Pass gun laws." Today, both parties trying to share a more unified message.
There should be no finger pointing, because this is an attack on our democracy itself.
I'm not going to point the fingers at either party. Both party has guilt.
As a sign of the times, the September 11th ceremony at the Pentagon was moved to the center of the building today instead of its usual spot outside. Now, here in Spokane, an event was held in remembrance of the 24th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks at Roos Field at Eastern Washington University. As you can see in this video, people climbed up and down the stairs of the stadium. They climbed a total of 110 floors to represent the number of floors first responders climbed in the Twin Towers 24 years ago. Some local firefighters made the climb in full gear. One of them telling us she's making the climb to honor those who showed up and risked their lives that day.
So that's the reason why I wanted to show up and show out, is because this is something that is just so small, but it's a way to remember the sacrifice that they made.
Now, here is a live look of New York right now, where the Tribute in Light art installation has returned. The two beams of light side by side are meant to replicate the original Twin Towers. These lights will be kept on until dawn tomorrow. All right, Jack Wallace joining us now. The Mariners taking on the Los Angeles Angels tonight, hoping to keep their winning streak alive. And Jack, they've been going extra innings almost every night lately.
I mean, it could have been, what, almost 10:45 when they wrapped up today, so we were pretty much on the clock. All the pressure is on now. Houston dropped their game to Toronto today, so Seattle could tie for the AL West lead with a win. It's game one against LA, and just like last night against St. Louis, like Derek was saying, we got to go pretty deep into this one to find a winner.
What did you ask for? Is it deep enough? Polanco is on his way home.
Oh my goodness, they did it again. Harry Ford this time, the rookie only a week into his MLB debut, walks off an amazing 12th inning ending for the Seattle Mariners. The Atlanta native is still without a major league hit, but now he has a major league walk-off win, and one that landed Seattle a share for the first place spot in the American League West Division, the latest into a season with a division lead, at least tied for a lead, since that record-breaking 2001 run. We had a 4-all tie going into extra innings. J.P. Crawford's RBI single tied the game in the 11th, and Jorge Polanco's double tied the game again in the 12th. Seattle's win is their 79th of the season. They seek their 4th straight season of at least 80 wins tomorrow night. That'd be the longest streak since 2003. The M's still have 3 more games against the Angels. It's their final divisional opponent at home this regular season. We'll be back in main sports with sound from Washington State football and Spokane Impact Soccer. Derek, back to you.
All right, Jack, thank you. The city of Spokane took a big step forward today in fixing up the restrooms found in our city parks. During the Spokane Parks Board meeting, the board passed a restroom case study. This study will allow ALSC Architect to determine what installations for park restrooms work the best around the nation and then create a strategy to improve ours locally. The timing of this is strategic. If the Together Spokane levy passes this November, upgrades to the park restrooms can begin as soon as the funding is available. A recent report on our park restrooms found 21 of them needed to be completely replaced and 18 require major renovations. All right, still ahead, a new dog park is coming to downtown Spokane, but how much will it cost taxpayers? And 50,000 pounds of garbage and illegal camping plague a Spokane Valley natural area. The Department of Natural Resources plan to solve that problem. And your full First Alert forecast is coming up right after the break.
Plan your day with Matt Gray, only on Good Morning Northwest.
4 News Now is brought to you by Windermere Real Estate.
Wildfire season is here, and a spark could quickly turn into an inferno. Protect what matters most with meteorologist Matt Gray.
We're not just forecasting, we're giving you the time you need to keep your home and family safe.
The First Alert Weather Team, only on 4 News Now.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by never settling. But what's really made Ford F-Series #1 is you.
After a car wreck, big insurance moves fast to protect themselves, not you. That's why it's critical to call us as soon as possible.
With Craig Swap & Associates, we make sure the process is fair for you.
I knew I really needed help after my accident, so I called Craig Swap & Associates. They not only fought for me, but treated me fairly every step of the way.
The sooner you call us, the faster we can make things right. One call, that's all.
Call the 9s, 509-999-9999.
I'm Chad Young from theeasyhomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With theeasyhomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by never settling. But what's really made Ford F-Series #1 is you.
New tonight, Sean Penn joins Kimmel.
Is it true that your son Hopper, that you originally wanted to name him Steak?
That is true.
That is true.
Because you love steak?
Also give a kid a challenge.
Plus, Owen Cooper, Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC. 4 News Now is brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Welcome back. A new dog park is coming to the north side of Riverfront Park, and the city's Parks Department expects it to be pretty popular. Plans for the park were approved by the Park Board earlier today, which includes a 3-year agreement for maintenance. A private company is funding the project, so it won't cost taxpayers anything. Spokane Parks and Recreation says it didn't have the resources to clean up that section of the park before this project.
Around the perimeter of this dog park is creating accessible pathways and seating areas that'll have great views of the falls. A lot of it too is around updated lighting, landscaping, and then gateway improvements.
The Parks Department estimates up to 1 million people walk through the area where the dog park will be built each year. All right. Chris, you and I are both dog owners, so do you think you'd be bringing the pups to the park when it opens?
Absolutely, and I am definitely one of those 1 million people that walk through that area. It's a good spot.
Of course.
Well, if you are down on the Palouse or in the LC Valley, you might want to put your pup in a Thunder shirt, or maybe he's already cowering under the covers. We do have a pretty good thunderstorm that's actually moved through Lewiston now and is headed south and west. It is rotating around an area of low pressure. We'll zoom in here, and this storm is capable of producing half-inch hail, 40-mile-per-hour gusts, and we have had some pretty good cloud-to-ground lightning. Those blue strikes are the positive strikes. Those are the most intense strikes. Starting to clear Lewiston and really even Clarkston Heights. The worst of it is now heading to the west, and that will be continuing to move away from the Lewiston and Clarkston area. Meanwhile, things picking up again around St. Mary's, where we've had a couple of cloud-to-ground lightning strikes and are seeing some heavier rain and some small hail, not as intense as the storm further to the south. This is also moving almost to the south-southwest, away from the St. Mary's area, not particularly very fast, may just brush by southern portions of the Plummer area here later tonight. Mountain storms on Friday on an isolated basis and mainly over the central Panhandle Mountains. Mostly sunny and warm for most of the region with hazy sunshine that will continue through Saturday. And then we have a chance of rain on Sunday. Here's what's happening. We've got this area of low pressure where those storms are wrapping around. That begins to dissipate, moving away from the region, and high pressure builds in for Saturday briefly before this cold front moves through on Sunday. Here's Sunday at 2 o'clock with a chance of rain in the inland northwest. It's not going to be very impressive. Perhaps a sprinkle or two here or there, hundredths of an inch. But behind this front, we're going to have a brief cool down that will be a little more impressive. Cooler on Sunday, and then Monday our temperature really drops. Take a look. 83 on Saturday, 75 on Sunday, and then 67 on Monday. We have not had a temperature at average or below so far this month. It's all been well above average, and we'll be back above average heading into the middle of next week. High temperatures tomorrow around the Spokane area, 82 in Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls, 81 in Liberty Lake, 84 in Meade, and 81 in Cheney and Spangle. Around the region, you'll find temperatures mainly in the 80s. 78 in Pullman, one of the exceptions. No 90s on this map. Your planning forecast, only one day where we have that chance of showers, and it is Sunday. Some really pretty weather, and this is exciting for those of you who like to sleep with the window open and sleep cool. We've got temperatures in the 40s coming next week. That's a hoodie at the bus stop. And pick of the night tonight, I want to share from our good friend Andrew Derrickson, who makes the trek up to the Vista House at Mount Spokane frequently, and it is always changing. Definitely a little bit smoky in this sunset photo, but she was especially stricken by the reflection on the windows there in the house for the Chair 6 is what that is called. That's, of course, looking to the west. That's where the sun sets most nights, Derek, to the west. But that is Chair 6 off the backside at Mount Spokane.
Beautiful picture. All right, still to come, Mirabeau Point Park is expanding. The new area the Department of Natural Resources is opening to the public.
Later tonight on Nightline, On the Run, the all-out manhunt for Charlie Kirk's assassin, killing the conservative activist in front of a crowd with a single gunshot. What authorities say they found and how they say the shooter made his getaway.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The 2025 Ford Bronco is everywhere, and for good reason. It's built for anything, loaded with capability, and will go anywhere you take it. Snow, mud, dirt, whatever the road throws at you. This goat gives you seven different terrain modes to handle it all. And the Bronco just won an award for Best in Class for initial quality. When buying your next SUV, think Wendell Ford. We would be honored to show you the new Bronco. Wendell Ford, drive for generations.
Bill's Heating and AC has not one, not 2, but 3 warehouses overstocked with tankless water heaters. To clear out inventory before the end of the year, we're doing something we've never done before. Advertising our guaranteed lowest pricing for all to see. Right now, you can get a tankless water heater installed for only $3,500 to $4,500, depending on the model. Call now before this amazing deal goes away. Call 208-777-5528.
Dear crew, with an adult-sized third row, everyone's welcome. From sports fans and eco buffs to movie fans. Slip in, stretch out, and let's go. Toyota.
Right now, you can lease a new adventure-ready 2025 RAV4 for just $299 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Why say no when it feels so good to say yes? Want some help? Yes. Want to skip the line? Yes. Watch an unreleased season of your favorite show? Yes. How about a credit union with low loan rates, no hidden fees, online banking, and friendly member services? Yes. Experience how good yes can feel.
4 News Now is brought to you by Fairway Floor.
Welcome back. Mirabeau Point Park is about to get a lot bigger. The Department of Natural Resources and Spokane Valley are opening the Pinecroft Nature Preserve to the public. The preserve protects one of the few remaining ponderosa pine grassland ecosystems in the Spokane Valley. Even though this area is currently closed, DNR says illegal camping has become a problem as more than 50,000 pounds of garbage have been cleaned up from that area in the past 3 years.
We've kind of found is that the more we close down an area sometimes, the more folks are likely to trespass and find their way into it.
So DNR hopes by having more people and more eyes on that area, there will be less illegal camping. Once completed, several trails will wrap through the preserve starting from Mirabeau Point Park. Along the path, visitors will find educational signs explaining the conservation goals. DNR says work on the project can begin once the city of Spokane Valley signs the agreement. All right, now time for some of our top trending stories in the 4 News Now story tracker at number 3. According to Spokane County Sheriff's Office, deputies arrested a man who broke into a home in Spokane County and took his pants off yesterday. The 911 caller reported they saw the man enter the house on a video security system. When deputies arrived, they found 62-year-old Billy Maston in the house, only wearing a shirt. After being medically cleared, Maston was booked into Spokane County Jail for burglary and theft. Next, are you curious about how Spokane's cost of living compares with other cities across the nation? You can compare and contrast the price of groceries, housing, and gas using ABC's new Price Tracker tool. And finally, a farmer near Deer Park has been fined $100,000 by the Washington Department of Ecology for illegal water use. According to the DOE, property owner Robert Greif has been warned repeatedly about illegal water usage to irrigate 69 acres of land without authorization. The violations were first documented in 2019. Greif has 30 days to pay that, to file an appeal or pay the fine. You can log on to KXLY.com to read more about each of these stories. All right, the Washington State Cougars have just 2 more rests before their first road game of the season at North Texas.
And the Mean Green present a tricky case of a quick and high-speed offense.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
4 News Now's Get Outside Guide is brought to you by Click It RV.
On his journey to become the Golden Bachelor, he left it all on the field. Gave everything he had to the game. And then to his kids. Now Mel's starting his second half to find his better half.
I'm being told this is Limo Emo from Liberty Mutual, who helps save you hundreds by customizing your car insurance.
And his partner, Doug, is the gentleman under the security guard.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Push, tap, and swipe away to your next car. It all starts at AutoNation.com. Shop thousands of your favorite used cars and trucks, all priced to sell with the peace of mind of a money-back guarantee. Hurry to your nearest AutoNation store today.
Resilience. At Shriners Children's, we're leaders in pediatric sports medicine. With expertise in sprains, tears, fractures, and other sports-related injuries. We're here to deliver the best care in the business and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. Because every great comeback starts with a game plan for empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
You know, Donnie, when you're hurt in a car crash, you get a lot of advice.
From friends,
Acquaintances,
your aunt,
your nosy next-door neighbor.
insurance adjusters.
But those aren't the only people you should talk to because they don't have expertise in personal injury law like the advocates do.
And not all of them have your best interest at heart.
Exactly. Instead, call the advocates. We'll get right to work making sure you get everything you deserve.
Even my Aunt JoJo can't do that.
Nope. Injured? You deserve an advocate.
Thursday night high school football kicks off tonight again at One Spokane Stadium. The Lewis and Clark Tigers hosting the Meade Panthers. LC looking for their first dub. Meade trying for their second. That Tiger drum line taking 1 dub early. Their football team with another fairly early on in this game, too. Jackson Spitz on to punt, a great punt, and it hits a falling Panther. Live ball, Tigers recover, but they can't turn that into good field position points. Meade getting it back. Panthers on the other end. Landon Thomas taking it himself. Juke move, broken tackle in for 6. Touchdown Meade. They lead it, and it won't take long for touchdown number 2. Thomas slinging it to Max Fagao. There's 6 more for the road team. They lead by 2 scores, and that big number 2 makes it 3. Rushing in on the near the end of the half makes it a 21-0 game at the break. Meade hangs in strong to win it 42-14, your final. Washington State Cougs are just a couple days away from their first road trip of 2025, taking on the North Texas Mean Green in Denton. UNT boasts a Mike Leach-inspired offense. The former legendary Cougs coach, the master of the air raid O, and Eric Morris, a disciple of his. Quickfire O will be tricky to slow down. Head coach Jimmy Rogers spoke on the scouting done against the big Mean Green, and what that plan of attack is going to look like on Saturday.
It's not hard to turn on the film and see those guys fly around. They got, for one, just great team speed, and that's in all units. Their quarterback is really good and makes plays with his legs and makes quick decisions. And
Spokane Impact completed an excellent weekend of competition to debut their inaugural season, taking home a couple big wins in late August out in Colorado. But they now return home to Spokane this weekend to host rounds of games. And both players and parents alike can't wait for this opportunity to be welcomed in their own backyard and share how meaningful this first season has meant to them so far.
On the sidelines to witness what these athletes do and how it affects them, you know, emotionally. I mean, even just in a 40-minute game from the beginning to the end, the amount of emotion and progression that they go through, it is something.
Playing for the Impact team, it's fun to play with the team, have fun, you know, play tough, be competitive.
Sean and his son Ethan there, pretty cool duo. The Impact have tickets available to purchase to attend the event. That link plus the live stream link is available now on our website, KXLY.com. Spokane Indians have 6 of their alums playing in the Arizona Fall League coming up in just a month. Charlie Condon, Kay Ditton, Wellington Herrera, Jack Mahoney, Jared Thomas, Braylon Wimmer. A lot of those guys playing for Spokane this season. All are going to play for the Salt River Rafters. They'll join prospects from the Angels, D-backs, Pirates, and Red Sox. A 2025 season between these 6 teams in the small league beginning Monday, October 6th, ending Saturday, November 15th. And seeing earlier in our cast, we talked about the Seattle Mariners doing it big time tonight. Comeback complete, at least for now, as they beat the Los Angeles Angels in 12 innings, their second night in a row with an extra inning walk-off. The win is Seattle's 6th straight and ties them with the Houston Astros for their first AL West lead, at least share of a lead this late into a season since 2001. Of course, their winningest in franchise history. Rookie Harry Ford knocked in the winning run, his first career RBI and walk-off, despite still no career MLB hits. Seattle returns for game 2 of 4 tomorrow night at 6:40 p.m. Last look at weather coming after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Ready for action? It's no holds barred as King of the Cage features up-and-coming MMA stars battling it out. King of the Cage, live Thursday, September 25th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Get 0% APR plus no monthly payments until next year on select Sierra 1500 models. We are professional grade.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Your seasonal situationship is a pumpkin spice iced coffee for $2.29.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Dear 2031, we look forward to seeing you. After our 160-point quality assurance inspection, we'll be Toyota certified used vehicles with 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranties. Not to honk our own horns, but the best new cars make the best used cars. Yours, Toyota.
Get 4.99% APR for up to 60 months on many of your favorite Toyota certified used models.
Find yours at toyotacertified.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Well, imagine buying your dream home only to realize you don't have reliable access to water. That's the reality for some people on 5 Mile Prairie. Bellevue Water District 13 is a small water district with just 26 homes and water infrastructure concerns dating back more than 50 years. This has led to days-long outages, high water bills, and major frustration with no solution in sight.
So currently we are facing what is really a water infrastructure crisis.
To see what's being done to end this water crisis, you can watch Natalie Grant's full story on KXLY.com.
Still tracking some thunderstorms. They're moving to the southwest, Lewiston, St. Mary's, Clarkston Heights, and potentially Moscow right now.
Well, the Blues has really been having the active weather patterns the last couple nights.
Yes, they have.
All right. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 5, 6, 11 again.